Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. 8.3 is now with us. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to get their hands on it, have a little bit of a play, see what they think of it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to sit down. We have our cup of coffee here. And we're going to talk pros, cons, conclusions, what's still to come, all that kind of thing. Get our feel for 8.3 and what we think of it. So let's start off. Straight off the bat, let's not even hang about. Pros. Start off with the good stuff. I've been saying for a long time I would love them to use more of this amazing world that they've got. We have so many good zones, so many amazing zones with rich histories that are interesting. The world is massive, and not just Azeroth. We have Draenor, Outland. We have this huge amount of land space that we don't use. So reusing some old zones, I've got no problem with that. I have absolutely no problem with it, especially if it means that they can focus on new things for M+. They can focus on mechanics for new raids. I wonder if not having to create a new zone, instead being able to reuse the Veil of Blossoms and being able to use Oldham means that they can create a 12 raid boss. Easy for me to say. They can create a raid with 12 bosses in, which is bigger than we've seen for a long time. If that's what it means, we can get the new visions. If it means they can create stuff like that, I'm fine not having a new zone. Reuse the world. This is meant to be. I know this is hard for people to get, but it is still. We are still in BFA. I know they've completely abandoned it, but this is meant to be the battle for Azeroth. This is meant to be, especially now, the return of the Black Empire. It should kind of span the entire world, but we get two zones, so I can accept that. So I'm more than happy with them reusing new zone or reusing old zones. Don't have a problem with that at all. And we finally get some solo content, which is nice. It's gated, I will say that, behind a 10,000 rep or the chests, which is where you get your visions from. It would be nice. I would fully accept being able to say to Wrathion, look, I want to jump in. I want to do one of these. I want to do a horrific vision, but I fully accept that I'm not going to get the big chest. Instead, I want to just go in, see how long I can last, maybe explore a little bit. If I kill some stuff down the sides, well, that's fine. I'll get some chests or get some side chests. Maybe I can go hunting for a skull, things like that, without having to use the key. But it means that I don't get the big chest that's got my upgrade to my cloak, that's got, pets in and whatever else. I don't mind missing out on that. I just want to go in and explore and see how far I can go and kind of learn my way around and so on and so forth, without the pressure of, if I don't get this right, oh my god, I miss out on my cloak upgrade, which is a big thing. So that would be nice. I would say that as somebody that's... I've got... I want to say 14 or 16 120s now. So I can jump in and do these all day, every day. Not a problem at all. But I would love to jump in and play it some more on my main. Just get a feel for it. Just explore it. And there's a lot of people that don't have that kind of time. But they might want to sit there and go, do you know what? I fancy jumping in and just doing a horrific vision without, as I say, the pressure of, oh my god, I'm going to use this key up and that's it. If I mess this up, I don't get my cloak, which I did on my first one. As I've said before, I messed up, didn't get my cloak upgrade. Now I'm kind of playing catch up on those that did. Such is life. Doesn't bother me. I don't do high-end content, so it's not that big of a problem. Also, the story is another big plus point, and I say story, and I mean that purely regarding ny'alotha and what we've experienced so far in 8.3. I'm liking the Raden stuff, and I know this is fully setting them up, spoiler alert, apologies, to be raid bosses. We've got Wrathion, all of that kind of thing. I especially like the whole Wrathion bit, where if you haven't done it, again, I apologise, spoilers, but when you go with him to get your cloak, and you find out what the cloak is made from, and all those, I like that side of it. I really like that side of it. So yeah, big props to the story stuff. I'm enjoying it a lot. The corruption stuff. So, when you do your intro storyline, you're going to get items that have corruption. And it gives you a kind of a negative. And if you build up too much negative, you get negative effects on you. If you've ever seen the little eye that's next to your item level, that will tell you how bad the corruption's getting. So, realistically, I think it's like 25. You don't want it to go very high. Which is kind of pretty easy to negate. I had 2 bits of corrupted gear. Obviously, if I had applied both of them, done, really bad. But then, by the time I'd done my first 4, maybe even less than that, 4 cloak upgrades, which are very, very easy to do, by the way. Done. Negated. I can quite easily wear those 2 bits of corrupted gear now. Fantastic. Great. I'm liking that. Now, I will say I am talking purely from a casual, kind of solo, low-end, mid-end player. I'm not a high-end player. I understand that for them, trying to get the very best item you can, this is yet more RNG. You know, I'm going to I want my stars, I want my infinite stars, but and I can't get it. Oh, well, that's great. That puts me at a huge disadvantage to others. I'm aware it's going to be nerfed, but, you know, it's more RNG, whereas Titan Forging, War Forging was annoying, but it was literally just it's now a higher item level, rather than a huge impact potentially on DPS, and so on and so forth. So, I get for them, corruption may not be great, but we're living with this for 8.3. You know, this isn't going with us into Shadowlands. Yeah, no doubt they'll create some other system, but for now, okay, it's more, I'll accept it over Titan Forging, War Forging, because it's at least interesting for me, as I say, as a mid-tier player. There's a lot for alts to do. There we go, there's another one. There's a ton of stuff for alts to do. We've got, in essence, this whole new World Quest system that's been put in. You know, it's still World Quest, but it's kind of updated, the same Pandaria, and in Arcata Zone, Oldham. But it's a lot of stuff for alts to do. They can do your horrific visions on your own, with friends, whatever, however you want to do it. So let's get on to some cons, because this literally rolls straight on. It's still fucking painful for alts. This whole, well, they're going to make a skip. Literally, if you've tried this on alt, you do the quest chain again to get your cloak. You get to go to the halls of origination, easy for me to say, and you speak to Magni. It's like, yo, Meg, I've done this. He's like, all right, well, let's not worry about it then. That's literally it. That's all you can skip. Or certainly, I've done it now for 3 times, and that's the only one I've been able to skip. You've still got to do all the other bits, and it's literally like a wish you were here holiday program, flying around all these locations with Magni. And the little sod just disappears. It's like, there then, hero! And he just disappears. It's like, what? And then, again, apology, spoiler alert, you get an event happen halfway through the quest chain. And, I think it's Rathion or Magni turns around and goes, we need to get the hero out of there. And Mother goes, teleporting now. And I'm like, you could teleport me this whole time? That was a thing you could do, Mother? And you didn't teleport me? And then even after she's activated the teleporter to get you out of there, I think there's only one time she teleports you. The rest is like, nah, you're on your own. Sod ya. Just like, cheers. I really do feel like a champion of Azeroth. Thanks for that. So yeah, the alt stuff is still painful. But it is something to do, which is, yeah. But yeah, to get the cloak is still a long slog with an alt, even skipping stuff. Still, you get to do, there's a lot of stuff with regards to the horrific visions and stuff like that you can do with the alts. So, you know, it is what it is. Again, having done it once, the World Quest stuff in Oldham and Pandaria, it's fine. It's absolutely fine, but it is, let's be honest, it is reskinned World Quest. It might as well just say, you know, we got the emissaries at the bottom, it's like that. You're just going to be doing it now because it's the new buzzword thing to do. You do your daily horrific, which I'm jumping ahead here on my list of stuff that I wrote down. But the daily mini vision, if you know what I'm talking about, you'll basically go to one of the zones, and there'll be a little eyeball. You'll go down, you'll talk to one of Rathion's guys, you go in, and it's like, you can only do this once, you need to cleanse your mind, and you'll get killed 20 things. Deactivate 3 portals. And it's like, and it's not even those 2 together, it's literally 1 or. You're like, okay, I've done that now. And that's it. And your bar, if your bar is below like 900 by the time you've done it, and you're sat there like, well, I can keep walking around doing stuff, but I'd rather just get on. It's a nothing, it's a wasted thing. It feels like there could have been so much more to those mini little visions. Even make them harder and then give it like a little gear reward. Even because at the moment, which is quite good, when you kill a rare, you can get, if you remember from, I want to say Legion, apologies if I'm wrong, you used to be able to go and get basically catch-up gear. It's account-bound catch-up gear. And it's that. You kill a rare, you get a chance. I think I've got a 415 and a 410 that I'm able to give my characters, and that's great. I'm able to send that off to my alts. Again, alt-friendly. It helps gear up alts that I have very much left behind and get them to 410, because and again, I said this before in another video, that I realistically don't think you can go into a horrific vision less than sort of 410. It would feel very, very painful and probably not very fun going in less than that. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're a great player, know your class really well, fantastic, all good. But in terms of just raw DPS output, maybe 400. Raw DPS output, I think you'd struggle going to horrific vision and doing it in time. Once you've got the 3 upgrades, you might be able to, but I can't imagine it being a lot of fun. Let's move on. The Leftover Story from BFA. Please just take this behind a barn and put it out of its misery, because the story from BFA, I've said this numerous times, is awful. Absolutely flat out horrendous. Probably, yeah, I'm going to say even worse than Cataclysm. Probably the worst story that I've experienced in WoW. Worse than the ending of Cata, than Thrall, Green Jesus, worse than all of that. Absolutely cannot stand the story, and it only proceeds to get worse. We've got the leadership of the undead, the leadership of the horde. It's just... I've got to admit, I would be intrigued to see how it's going on the Alliance side, but on the horde side, it's just... Oh god, it's just tree hugging. And of course, they've completely abandoned the were you a loyalist to Sylvanas, or did you stand against her? And that now doesn't matter at all. It's irrelevant, which is a shame, because it could have flowed over. It would have been interesting, let's say, to have, if you were a loyalist of Sylvanas and she has, with air quotations, betrayed you, well then what about N'Alotha talking to you going, you were betrayed by the one you trusted. Trust in me and I will never betray you. I will give you power. I will... So, you know, that kind of thing. But it's just not there. They just literally dropped this storyline. And for those of you that were loyal to Sylvanas, you'll know. You literally go to you go to the Spire, and she goes, well, hero, champion, whatever the fuck she calls you. Kind of on your own now, motherfucker. You know, I'm off to the Shadowlands. You will see, but I'm not going to fucking talk to you again. I love you, Nathaniel. You're hot. And then that's it. And she just fucks off. Leaves you to it. It's like, okay, great. Cheers, Ev. Thanks for that. So yeah, the Leftover Story from BFA can just do one as far as I'm concerned. Last but by no means least, the crafting is still flat and blah. The crafting has been abysmal. It's just all I can say. It's been absolutely awful, and it continues to be that way. Yeah, so we were. It's the last patch in this expansion. I wasn't expecting to suddenly turn crafting around and make it fantastic and interesting. It is what it is. Now, 2 big things to note. We do not have Season 4 as yet. We do not have the new raid yet. I've heard good things. I've heard good things about the new affix, and I've heard good things about the new raid, but we have yet to see them live. So, you know, we shall wait and see what happens there. So let's go into our conclusion about 8.3, what we're thinking. Is it worth it? Is it enough to keep people playing until 9.0? I'll be honest, it feels like it's for players that have kind of been... that casual group of players, and I include myself amongst that. I have a lot of playtime, so I have playtime like a hardcore player, but I play casual. And if you've got a lot of alts and you've been bowing around on different characters and you do your bit of M+, and you do your bit of stuff here, you do your bit here, you do your LFR, that kind of thing, and you've cherry-picked the bits you wanted to do throughout this expansion, this patch feels like it's for you. It's a decent amount of there's not a lot realistic that's going to happen. We're going to end up with the same 2 pillars. We're going to end up M+, we're going to end up raiding are the end 2 things. Apologies, I'm not mentioning PvP, I'm not a PvPer, I do not know enough about that world to even talk about it. But we're going to end up with, in the PvE sphere, we're going to end up with, as I say, M+ and raiding as the 2 tiers, as the 2 towers that hold up. Then what? Then there's nothing else. People are obliged now that you're still doing islands because people want to get their necks up to 80. I don't know why. Don't worry, you'll get them up to 75 easy. You don't realistically need 80 unless you're world first progression raiding, but you know, so that's it. We're going to be back in the same grind. So it means that players that I say that have cherry-picked the things they wanted to do can now go back and they can clean up, they can tidy up. Oh look, I've got 780 doubloons. Or why don't I just do some islands, get my 1,000, and I can get my mount? Or I've already got that mount, but I've still got a load of doubloons. Why don't I get some more and I can keep buying boxes, which, by the way, definitely do the boxes. You get a ridiculous amount of mounts. I might even do a video of that on its own. But, you know, I can literally go around, tidy up. Oh, I haven't got that allied race. Well, let's do some allied races. Let's clean them up. You know, we've got the new Volpira, we've got the Mechanomes, we've had a ton. We've got the Zandalari, we've got the Colterans, the Megar Orcs. We've got all of these, come in. So you can go back, go and tidy them up, go and do the bits of story you didn't do. That's what it feels like. It feels just like, okay, look, there's this stuff, you can do that, but kind of just go back, clean up all the stuff you want to get done, and then let's just shut the door on BFA. In terms of 8.3 on its own, I like it. I think it's good. Do I think there's enough? Well, it all depends very much when 9.0 comes out. It all hinges on that. I'm still thinking August, with, say, before that, 3 months, 4 months maybe of beta testing, and that's it. Which is not unusual. That's been the last case for the last 2 expansions. So I can see an August release. Yeah, maybe there's enough to keep us interested. Especially with Cyberpunk coming out. Take a little bit of a break. But on its own it feels flat. The problem is the worst part of 8.3 is what's left over from BFA. Realistically, what we need to do, and this is my closing thought, what we need to do is give 8.3 to Mother. And we need to say, Mother, cleanse BFA off of 8.3. And then it may be really good. Then it may be something I actually do want to equip, because 8.3 is good, but yeah, it is just still the dregs, the leftovers of what clings on from BFA that make it bad. But we shall see. As I say, this is early days, and but this is what we've got, and I'm hopeful. I like what I see so far. I love the zones. I always have. Olden's one of my favourite zones, so I am probably slightly biased. I've still got my Volpira to level. To be fair, I'm going to wait until 9.0 comes out because I want the new leveling experience. The current one is horrific. But, you know, they're fun. The Mechanomes, I'm just not even going to mention. But there we go, peeps. That's my roundup of 8.3 so far. It's kind of a mixed bag, but that very much sums up what we've got. It is a mixed bag. It is a leftover from BFA. It is new experimental stuff going into 9.0. It is trying to do something different. Whether it's enough, who knows. But I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. Whether you're all for it, you're against it. I understand, as I say, Season 4 is not here and the raid's not here. But so far, you're liking it, you're disliking it. I just know that, and this is the bit that grates me, and this is my conclusion has been going on for ages now, I apologise, but this is the bit that grates me, is that I've done my Aldum stuff, I've done my Horrific Vision stuff, I've done my Miss Pandaria stuff, and the thing I'm sat here thinking is now, no, I've got my M+ to do, or I've got my islands to do. And that's what I had before. You know, you've given me a distraction, and I'm hoping with everything else that comes out, that 8.3 isn't just a minor distraction from the treadmill we were already treading in BFA. But who knows? Time will tell. Have a good one, everybody. I'll catch you all later.